The boxers have been given their instructions. The seconds are out. The crowd is ready for another edition of Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing with your presenter, the boxing historian, Greg Rashid.
I want to say swatty cop to everyone out there. This is Greg Rashid with another edition of the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast. And swatty cop, for those of you new to the program, that means hello in Thai. I'm in Bangkok, Thailand. Loving the weather here as always, and loving presenting another edition of the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast. And this one is kind of a tribute show because we lost a not a great Hall of Fame fighter, but a solid fighter. Former lightweight champion Greg Haugen out of Washington State. And I'm going to do today on the show a tribute fight to him. I'm going to have him fighting and using Legends of Boxing 2 PC game. I'm going to be using that to sim the fight between him and Rafael Ruelas. And Ruelas was something. He was a bad fighter. Him and his brother Gabriel, they was something. But I hope you enjoy the fight. And if you're new to the program, what we do on here, we sim fights. We do what-if fights. What would happen if Mike Tyson fought Joe Louis? Or what if Muhammad Ali had fought Anthony Joshua? And we use various modalities, card and dice games, computer games. Today we're using Legends of Boxing 2, created by Gary Brown. So we're going to get right into the fight right now on the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast.
Cheers. This is Knockout Nigel, your humble commentator, bringing you a riveting night of lightweight boxing action right here from the Felt Forum in sunny Los Angeles. We've got a fantastic matchup for you this evening as Greg Haugen squares off against Rafael Ruelas. Both fighters are brimming with talent and determination, and I can assure you we are in for an unforgettable bout. Let's get to know the fighters. Greg Haugen, hailing from Auburn, Washington, is no stranger to the ring. He's known for his toughness, grit, and the uncanny ability to endure brutal fights. A former IBF lightweight champion, Haugen has squared off against some of the best in the business. Despite his occasional setbacks, his resilience and determination make him a formidable opponent. On the other side, we've got Rafael Ruelas, fighting out of Jalisco, Mexico. Ruelas, with his explosive power and lightning-quick reflexes, has garnered quite a reputation. A skilled technician with an aggressive style, he can dictate the tempo of the fight with sheer intensity. His impressive record is a testament to his prowess in the ring. The bell rings, and both fighters come out with caution, sizing each other up for round 1. Haugen quickly throws a probing jab, testing the waters. Ruelas circles to his left, looking for an opening. Suddenly, Ruelas darts in and lands a sharp right hook, and Haugen is staggered. Haugen backs up, his legs wobbly, but he regains his composure. Ruelas is relentless, following up with a series of jabs and hooks, pressing the action. Haugen, now on the defensive, manages to land a counter left hook that catches Ruelas on his swollen right eye. The eye is already looking worse for wear, a concerning sign this early in the bout. The round ends with both fighters locked in a clinch, and the crowd erupts in applause. What a start to this fight. I need a double swig of bubbly after that exciting round. My word, I can't see this going 10 rounds. Here we go into round 2, and it's evident that neither fighter is holding back. Haugen takes the center of the ring, throwing a series of jabs to keep Ruelas at bay. Ruelas, with that swelling right eye, looks to slip inside and land his powerful shots. He feints a jab and follows with a swift uppercut that grazes Haugen's chin. Haugen responds with a solid 1-2 combination, but Ruelas ducks and counters with a body shot that echoes through the arena. Both fighters are trading punches fiercely, with Haugen's aggressive jabs and Ruelas' precise counters keeping the crowd on the edge of their seats. The bell sounds to end the round, and both men head back to their corners, breathing heavily. I am out of breath watching these two go at it in the ring. Can they keep it up for the full fight? The third round begins, and Ruelas immediately goes on the attack, targeting Haugen's midsection with a series of punishing body shots. Haugen tries to create distance with his jab, but Ruelas slips inside, landing a powerful right hook to Haugen's temple. Haugen absorbs the blow and counters with a left hook to Ruelas' eye, causing more swelling. The two fighters are locked in a brutal exchange, trading punches with ferocity. Haugen lands a clean uppercut that snaps Ruelas' head back, but Ruelas comes right back with a combination to Haugen's ribs. The intensity is palpable, and as the round ends, the crowd roars in approval. I will have a triple dose of bubbly after that round. This is intense. Round 4 is underway, and both fighters are showing signs of wear and tear. Haugen is pressing forward, throwing jabs and hooks with precision. Ruelas, with his right eye nearly swollen shut, is relying on his instincts and experience to navigate the fight. Haugen lands a solid left hook to Ruelas' jaw, but Ruelas absorbs it and counters with a powerful right cross that momentarily stuns Haugen. The exchange is relentless, with both fighters trading blows in the center of the ring. Ruelas lands a vicious body shot, causing Haugen to wince, but Haugen responds with a flurry of punches to Ruelas' head. The round ends with both men breathing heavily, but neither willing to back down. As we enter round 5, the fighters are showing incredible heart and determination. Haugen is relentlessly attacking Ruelas' swollen eye, hoping to exploit the weakness. Ruelas, despite his impaired vision, is fighting back with all his might, landing powerful counters. Haugen throws a series of jabs, followed by a right cross that connects cleanly with Ruelas' head. Ruelas retaliates with a thunderous left hook to Haugen's body, causing him to stagger. The crowd is on its feet as both fighters continue to trade punches in a brutal exchange. The round ends with Haugen landing a final jab to Ruelas' eye, further worsening the swelling. The ring doctor is in Ruelas' corner, examining that right eye. Ruelas' corner is screaming at the doctor to not stop the fight. They are saying Ruelas can see. Ruelas is shaking his head in agreement. The 6th round begins, and the fighters are right back at it. Haugen is determined to press the advantage, throwing a series of jabs and hooks that keep Ruelas on the defensive. Ruelas, with his right eye nearly swollen shut, is still fighting with everything he has. Suddenly, Ruelas lands a massive uppercut that catches Haugen flush on the chin. Haugen is down. The referee begins the count. Haugen struggles but manages to beat the count and rises to his feet. What a show of heart. Ruelas presses the attack, but Haugen holds on, throwing wild punches in an attempt to fend off his opponent. The round ends with Haugen on shaky legs, but still in the fight. What a turn of events. I think Haugen got a little too sure of himself and exposed his chin to that powerful right uppercut. Let's see if Haugen has recovered. Round 7 starts, and the crowd is in a frenzy. Haugen, still recovering from the knockdown, is fighting back with a vengeance. Ruelas, sensing an opportunity, is relentless in his pursuit, throwing combinations to Haugen's head and body. Haugen counters with a powerful left hook that momentarily stuns Ruelas. The exchange is brutal, with both fighters landing heavy shots. Haugen is focusing on Ruelas' swollen eye, hoping to force a stoppage. Ruelas, despite the injury, is fighting back with incredible determination. The round ends with both men locked in a clinch, and the crowd erupts in applause. Both these blokes have tremendous heart. Will one of them let up? The 8th round begins, and the intensity has not waned. Haugen and Ruelas are trading punches in the center of the ring, neither willing to give an inch. Ruelas throws a powerful right hook that catches Haugen off guard, and Haugen is down again. The referee starts the count, and Haugen barely beats it, rising to his feet on shaky legs. Ruelas pushes Haugen into the neutral corner, presses, landing a series of jabs and hooks to Haugen's head. Haugen is covering up, but those shots are coming through his guard. Finally, he clinches. The ref separates them. Haugen fights back with everything he has, landing a powerful body shot that momentarily staggers Ruelas. Ruelas comes back with a right uppercut that snaps Haugen's head back. The exchange is relentless, and as the round ends, both men head back to their corners, exhausted but determined. Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing true grit in this match. They are giving their all, and it is time for me to give my all to another swig of bubbly. As we enter the 9th round, both fighters are visibly exhausted, yet they continue to throw punches with incredible intensity. Haugen is targeting Ruelas' swollen eye, hoping to force a stoppage. Ruelas, despite his impaired vision, is fighting back with all his might, landing powerful counters. Haugen throws a series of jabs, followed by a right cross that connects cleanly with Ruelas' head. Ruelas retaliates with a thunderous left hook to Haugen's body, causing him to stagger. The crowd is on its feet as both fighters continue to trade punches in a brutal exchange. The round ends with Haugen landing a final jab to Ruelas' eye, further worsening the swelling. I am so stunned that this fight will go to the 10th round. The intensity of this fight is amazing. We're in the final round, and both fighters are digging deep, throwing everything they have left. Haugen is pressing forward, landing a series of jabs and hooks to Ruelas' head. Ruelas, with his right eye nearly swollen shut, is fighting back with incredible determination. Suddenly, Haugen lands a powerful right hook that causes a deep cut over Ruelas' right eye. Blood is pouring down, and the referee steps in to take a look. The ring doctor is called in, and after a brief examination, the fight is stopped. You can't be serious. There is only 1 minute and 38 seconds left in the bout. The crowd is in an uproar, clearly upset with the decision. Debris is flying into the ring. A folding chair just whizzed past my head. Someone has taken my bubbly and thrown it into the ring. Oh dear, I better get out of here. Delia, the ring card girl, has just presented me with the judges' scorecards. Ruelas was leading on the judges' scorecards. He would have won the decision. I can fully understand safety is paramount in this sport. Ruelas' eye was hideous. However, one can't help but question the timing and necessity of the stoppage. What a heartbreaking end to a valiant effort by Ruelas. I will now return you to our Bangkok studio. This is Knockout Nigel. Cheers.
Sounds like Richard Steele was doing that fight along with the in cahoots with the ring doctor there. But anyway, I mean that's a shame. That's a shame that happened. I'm gonna have to do a rematch with those two. But yeah, that was one of the more spirited fights I've had on this program in the 2 years I've been doing this. That was really something. Did you like that? Did you like that fight? Let me know. Let me know. And if you want to promote a fight, if you want to become a Patreon, go to patreon.com. Look for Ringside Fantasy Fights and News, and do what you can to donate $1 a month, whatever you can do to keep the lights on here, and get us a better microphone, better equipment, just a little bit of everything. But it's all on you because it's your show. This is your show. This is your program. And so please do what you can. Thank you so much. And now we're going to shift the gears a little bit because you're a boxing fan, I know. And some of you may not know all the results of what happened on February the 22nd, Saturday night, in Saudi Arabia. So we're going to, that was a big card, a huge card. And we're going to have Jessica tell you about it. She's going to take, this is from an article by the great writer Thomas Hauser. So she's going to talk about what happened, the results of that fight, those fights from last Saturday.
This report is from an article by Thomas Hauser. Callum Smith broke Joshua Buatsi down with a brutal body attack in the middle rounds. Both fighters were hurt as the fight went on. But Buatsi was hurt more and more often. It was a very good fight with Smith, prevailing on a 119, 110, which was way out of line, 116, 112, 115, 113 decision. Gilel Zhang versus Ajit Kabayel was an entertaining slugfest, with both men evincing a conspicuous lack of upper body and head movement. After a cautious first round, Kabayel attacked. Zhang, who is 41 years old and has never been in particularly good shape, started fading in round 3. Kabayel got sloppy in round 4 and was dropped by a straight left hand. But Ajit went back on the offensive and stopped Zhang with body shots in the 5th stanza. Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Israel Madrimov was a fight that boxing purists were looking forward to. Ortiz is a puncher and wanted to engage. Madrimov didn't. Israel kept skittering around the ring and Virgil couldn't figure him out. Then the Energizer Bunny wore down and there were some heated exchanges. That was the fight Virgil, who began scoring big to the body, wanted. Ortiz won a 117, 111, 115, 113, 115, 113 decision. Carlos Adams versus Hamza Shiraz for Adames' WBC 160-pound belt had particular significance. Shiraz, a 5-2 betting favorite, is a favorite of Turki Alalshik, who had big plans for him. The belief was that Hamza would beat Carlos and continue to increase his profile. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez's 4-fight deal with Riyadh Season will begin with fights against William Skull and Terence Crawford this year. Then the thinking went, Canelo would fight the winner of Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn on Cinco de Mayo weekend, 2026, followed by a fight against Shiraz on next year's Mexican Independence Day weekend. Adames Shiraz was a step-up fight for Shiraz, and he fell short of expectations. After a cautious first round, Adams began stalking. He couldn't get past Shiraz's jab. Hamza dictated the distance between them with his jab and footwork, but Shiraz seemed intimidated and threw few punches of consequence. It was a slow fight. Carlos didn't silence the crowd, but Hamza did. The judges ruled the fight a split decision draw, which meant that Adams retained his title. Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley was not a good fight. Floyd Schofield, an 8-1 underdog, fell out as Stevenson's opponent for medical reasons during fight week. Padley, a 30-1 underdog, took his place. The typical Shakur Stevenson opponent is slow without much of a punch. Padley is slow without much of a punch. Prior to being called in as a late replacement earlier in the week, he had been on the job installing solar panels. Shakur stopped him in the 9th round. Then the heavyweights returned to center stage, Joseph Parker versus Martin Bacol. Parker had been slated to challenge Daniel Dubois for Dubois' Alphabet Soup championship belt. But 2 days before the fight, Dubois pulled out after contracting a viral infection. Large amounts of money can do wondrous things. When Larry Goldberg lost 3 fighters during fight week, he was left with a 3-bout card. When Dubois was scratched, Turki Alalshik simply opened his checkbook and brought in Bacol. Martin was in Africa when he got the call and arrived in Riyadh at 2 a.m. on the day of the fight. Most of us have trouble keeping our eyes open after a transcontinental fight. Bacol had to fight Parker. Moreover, Martin weighed in at a massive 315 pounds, which clearly indicated that he wasn't in shape, unless one considers round a shape. Round 1 saw Parker biding his time while Bacol plodded slowly forward. 2 minutes into the 2nd stanza, Joseph landed a glancing right hand off the top of Martin's head. Bacol went down. He got up, and his corner stopped the fight. That wasn't what fans were hoping for, But then they were treated to an exceptionally good fight. Artur Beterbiev was an 11-10 favorite over Dmitry Bivol in a rematch of their October 2024 title unification bout, which Beterbiev won on a close majority decision. This time, as before, the momentum swung back and forth. But this fight was more intensely contested than their first encounter. Beterbiev came out hard. He couldn't reach Bivol, who was circling away and out-jabbing him, but Artur was relentless. He started landing and, by the middle rounds, was out-punching and outboxing Dmitry. Then Beterbiev, who at age 40 is 6 years older than Bivol, tired a bit, and Dmitry regained control of the contest. Both men were in good condition. Fighting desperately at the end, Artur finished stronger, but this time the majority decision was in Bivol's favor.
Man, that was a solid card. I have a question, though. I have one thing. You have a big card like that. Why do you hold it in a 6,000-seat arena when you have a bigger arena next door? I don't understand that. But anyway, I don't get that. But anyway, that's a good card. And I have to apologize for something I said on my last show. I was raving about Hamza Shearer. I said he's going to win the championship. I was saying he looked like a better version of Tommy Hearns. He looked so bad in that fight. Somebody wants to really give him a championship because that shouldn't have been a draw. The champ won that fight. Hamza Shearer he looked slow. He looked, just awkward. He didn't, just bad. It's just really bad. So they're going to try to give the guy a championship, but I don't know. If there's a rematch, he'll get beat. He'll officially get beat in there. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't seen those fights, check them out on YouTube. Great fights. And Jessica's going to talk about a fight that happened yesterday, Monday the 24th, and this was in Tokyo. So let's see what Jessica has to say about this fight.
This report is from an article by Thomas Hauser. Callum Smith broke Joshua Boatsy down with a brutal body attack in the middle rounds. Both fighters were hurt as the fight went on. But the following article was written by Jake Donovan for The Ring magazine. Junto Nakatani knew that enough left hands would eventually close the show. The long weapon of the three-division titleist was enough to turn away Mexico's David Cuellar, whom Nakatani stopped in the third round. 2 knockdowns paved the way for the fight's end at 2:59 of the third round in their ESPN Plus/Amazon Prime Japan main event Monday evening at Ariake Arena in Tokyo, Japan. It was a rare matchup where Nakatani, at 5'8", as the slightly shorter fighter against his 5'8.5" challenger. David Cuellar was the tallest fighter I've ever faced, Nakatani said through in-ring translator Mizuka Koike. I was happy to get the win. Nakatani, 30-0-23 KOs, the ring's number 1 bantamweight and numbers 9 pound-for-pound fighter, took a measured approach in the opening round. Still, it didn't take him long to find a home for the unbeaten southpaw to find a home for the straight left hand. Cuellar, 28, 1-22 KOs, the ring's number 8 bantamweight, was slow out the gate in a fight that marked his first title fight, first 12-rounder, and first career trip outside of Mexico. His best, and perhaps only shining moment, came towards the end of the second, when the Chepo Reynoso-trained contender landed a right hand upstairs. The corner advice immediately put Nakatani on the right track. Head trainer Rudy Hernandez cautioned Nakatani against telegraphing his punches, which prompted a return to the jab. Cuellar managed a left hook around Nakatani's extended right arm, but the moment was short-lived. Nakatani pawed with his jab and followed with a straight left down the middle. Cuellar first attempted to create space, and later bobbed and weaved to avoid the incoming. Neither tactic had much success. Nakatani closed the gap with a perfectly placed left hand to the body. It was followed by a left upstairs to put Cuellar on the canvas with 25 seconds to go in the round. Cuellar was on a knee while blood streamed from the bridge of the nose as referee Michael Griffin issued a mandatory 8 count. Cuellar beat the count, but 2 more lefts sent him right back to the deck. This time, Griffin reached the full 10 count to signal the end of the fight. Nakatani is now 9, 0 in major title fights, all but one which have ended in knockout. He has now stopped his last 4 opponents, all in the span of exactly 1 year. His WBC title reign began with a 6th-round stoppage of Alexandro Santiago on this date 1 year ago at Ryogoku Kokugakan Arena in Tokyo. Naturally, after any win, the immediate question is what lies ahead for the victor. Far too many boxing media members have angled for an immediate Japanese super fight between Nakatani and 4-division champ Naoya Inoue, 29, 0, 26 KOs. The Ring, an undisputed super bantamweight king, and Num, 2 pound-for-pound fighter. Such a fight will come in due time and will serve as the biggest fight ever in Japan. That said, both fighters have remained career-driven, without the other in their immediate sights. Particularly, Nakatani is determined to unify at bantamweight, a luxury he was never afforded during title reigns at flyweight and junior bantamweight. A title unification series at 118 makes perfect sense, as all 4 division belt holders reside in Japan. Nakatani was joined in the ring by one, and perhaps his very next target, in IBF titleist Ryosuke Nishida, 10, 0, 2 KOs. After my last fight, I asked who's next. This time, Nishida, let's fight, Nakatani said, with his countryman standing next to him as the crowd immediately reacted in awe.
Yeah, eventually it's going to happen. Nakatani is going to fight the monster. He's going to fight Inoue. It's coming. You know it's coming. That'll be a solid fight, probably the biggest fight ever in Tokyo, and probably one of the biggest fights of the 21st century. I mean, that's going to be something. And if you don't know about either of those fighters, go online, look at them. These guys are solid. They are something else. But anyway, you folks that listen to this program, you're solid too. And I want to thank everyone that tunes into the program. You know, a lot of folks listen every Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Mountain Time on KUHS, Denver.com, created by the one and only Henry Archuleta. But a lot of people listen on YouTube. They listen on iHeart, Spotify, iTunes. We're a little bit of everywhere. But I just am so grateful for all you folks out there. And remember, go in love and go in peace. Help someone along the way. And when you wake up in the morning, get up, look in the mirror and say, I love myself, and give yourself a big hug. And if you're sight impaired, get up, hug yourself, give yourself a big, big hug and say, I love myself. Because you don't love yourself, you can't do anything. You don't love yourself, you don't love anything. You can't do anything. And we need right now, as you see what's going on in this world, with all the wars and rumors of wars, you know, we need a lot of folks out there who love themselves that can give back to the communities, be it on a farm area, province, wherever you are, a gated community, wherever you are, city, countryside, seaside, wherever you are, even on outer space somewhere. Give back. Help a young person, help a senior in need, help an animal you may see that needs help. Do what you can to make it a better place. Clean up your community. You see trash, pick it up. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Pick it up. Don't complain like, oh, there's trash on the sidewalk. Why don't you just pick it up? But anyway, this is Greg Rashid again. Go in love and go in peace. We'll see you next time on the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel. Thanks and have a great day.